This is episode 3 of the Bridge broadcast. I'm David Higbee, the executive director, and I have 4 of our senior varsity girls on this episode. So what I'll do is I'll have you all each introduce yourselves, say a little bit about yourself, and then we'll kind of jump in. Does that work?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
What do you say?
How about Maya, you introduce yourself first.
Okay. Hi, my name is Maya Pudrani, and I've been playing with Bridge for 3 years now.
Hi, I'm Kristen Herrera. I've been playing with Bridge for 7 years.
Hi, I'm Allison. I've been playing with Bridge for 7 years.
Hi, I'm Dominique, and I've been playing with Bridge for 3 years.
So let's start with the question I've asked everyone else. It's kind of the reason we're doing this. How are y'all holding up in this self-quarantine time period?
This is hard. I feel like I'm adjusting to it now, but it's definitely weird not seeing like my team, and I miss being on the field. I miss my team, my coaches. It's hard, but I'm adjusting slowly, like very slowly.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a slow adjustment, but we're getting there. I think it's every day it's easier to see something positive or try to have a positive outlook on things. But I definitely miss my team. Today we were talking about how it would have been a really great day to play lacrosse.
Yeah, I definitely think it's gotten easier because I found more stuff to do. Like when this first started, I was kind of confused on what to do because all I do is play lacrosse and go to school. I can't do either of those things now. So what do I do? But it is a little frustrating, like going on Snapchat or Instagram and seeing people out with other people, just not following the rules and knowing that I'm stuck inside for longer because they're not staying home. That's annoying. But other than that, I think I'm doing okay.
I'm loving quarantine. Quarantine is the best. Like, whenever, besides going to school and, like, lacrosse, like, I come home and I stay home throughout the weekend unless, like, someone has a game. So this is pretty much normal for me. I do miss my friends, though, and my teammates. I miss you guys, but other than that, it's pretty normal.
So we're in our 3rd or 4th week of quarantine. So I think there is some normalcy that we're all kind of getting used to, whether it's sleeping in a little bit or the routine of work or school for you in you guys' case. Coach Manny and I talked a little bit about just the education aspect of this. And so her perspective as a teacher was, and teaching younger kids, 3rd graders, was pretty unique, and how she's working with her kids and getting them content and then getting feedback from them. How is it for you all as students trying to get through the last couple months of your of your high school education?
It honestly hasn't been that bad. I feel like I get an equal amount of work or less than I did before, and they're not trying to teach us any new concepts, which has been nice. All of the AP tests are just going to be up until what we would have learned at this point. So it's not like we're having to learn something new at home. All we're really working with now is how to learn online or how to just be in a classroom environment almost, but at home.
I feel like it's been pretty easy for me too. Our teachers have been pretty lenient in not making things due until like midnight that day. So my work has been pretty like easy. I've been able to get through it. The one class I'm struggling with though is AP art. It is impossible to do AP art from home with no supplies. I'm learning to be very creative right now, which I guess is good and is what my teacher would want, but that class is kind of hard right now.
What's the expectation with art then? You have an assignment and then you just take a photo of it and just turn it in?
I mean, that's what it is right now, but because I'm in AP, I have to make a portfolio that we were going to submit to the College Board. And right now we're still going to do that. It's just all going to be digital. And luckily they made the required amount of art we have to make smaller, so it's less art I have to make. But everything I have made is at school. So I don't know how we're going to get that because I need it.
Not gonna lie, I touch my computer maybe once a week. I don't, because it's really hard to stay motivated to do anything. Because like in my math class, they canceled the end of the year ACP, so I don't see the point anymore. The AP stuff, we're just learning stuff. We're not learning stuff. We're just getting tested over stuff we already know. my college, like Iowa State, is like, we don't care about this semester of grades. Like, we're not even going to look at that part of the transcript. So at this point, I'm kind of like, I don't really care what I get. As long as I get the diploma in the end, I don't care what my grades look like right now. So it's been a lot of actually getting on my computer and looking at stuff because, like I said earlier, I don't get up until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I can't like, oh, I'm gonna go the schedule that I would go at school because I'm not gonna wake up at 9 o'clock right now. It's not happening unless I have something to do. It's been hard trying to find the motivation to get on and do stuff.
Is that because it's online, or is it just general senioritis kicking in?
I've had senioritis since the middle of junior year, so it's
enough.
a little bit of that, but it's also like it's online, and I feel like it makes me care less because it's online. And it wouldn't have been that hard if I was at school. But since I'm at home, I have so much other stuff I could be doing that's a lot more fun than that.
I definitely agree with the part about finding motivation is kind of hard right now.
Dom, what about you? You're the one of the 4 here that doesn't go to IRMA. What's the last like 2 months of your senior year like?
I go to school at 7:50. That's when our school starts, and we're on until 4:10. Of course, we have like an hour. Now we have an hour-long lunch, but I'm basically in front of my computer screen for like 8-9 hours, so it's a little bit more difficult. And then for me, because I like doing the schoolwork, it's not so difficult to find the motivation. I'm just a really big procrastinator. So my cycle ended yesterday, and I didn't do my work, the work that was due until last night.
You're running classes just like you normally would in school then?
Yes.
Are they all Zoom meetings and face-to-face meetings like this?
Yes, they're exactly like this.
How often are you all, so the other 3, how often are you all doing these like Zoom meetings at all?
Yeah, I think I have one about every day.
Okay.
Not for me. I don't have to do it for most of my classes. Like for art, we did 1 total, and then for English, we do 1 at the end of the week, but that's it.
See, I'm never up. Like I said, I'm never up for them, so I only join them when Bridge has them. I joined like 1 for handbells because I was up at 4 o'clock, but no. But I'm getting through without them. So, and I hate the whole like video chatting with like 20 people thing. So I prefer to just like get the information later.
Your last little bit of high school is so much different than Dom's, and Dom's basically in class like she would be normally.
I couldn't do that. I'm so sorry, Dom.
I like my school. I like my classes. It's okay.
So, okay, we did our senior night on Wednesday.
Yeah.
What
It was emotional.
Yes, I recall. Thinking about how you guys wanted to end your senior year. Obviously, this is pre-COVID. You know, what were some things that you guys were looking forward to in your last season with Bridge?
Not gonna lie, senior night. I've been looking forward to senior night since 6th grade. And like, I was so excited to finally have our little name like announced and stuff, and like getting like the taking pictures on the field. Like just the 2019 senior night really put like, that's the first time I really got to experience it fully. So like I was even more hyped than before. Like I could care less like about like, I mean I could, but not as much about like prom and stuff. But like senior night with Bridge was like the hype. I don't know if I was more hyped about graduation or senior night. I'm not gonna lie. So like the fact that I kind of don't get that whole like field thing and like having the night and playing, and how like last year we did every senior scores a goal. That was gonna be my time to score a goal because I haven't scored a goal any other time. My goal this season was to score a goal. It never happened because, you know, all of this, but it's fine.
I was really looking forward to the speeches that the coaches were going to give to us. I feel like I've been waiting for my moment to know, like, what impact did I make on the coaches? How did they see me? And I feel like I wanted that. I was really looking forward to that.
I think for me, I was looking forward to like just senior night in general, definitely. But I don't know, just getting to finish the season is, I don't know, I wasn't expecting to get cut in half. So that was disappointing. And then I don't know, like I really got super excited this year because, I was finally like captain. Like, I was really excited about this season. And I had set a goal for myself that, like, I wanted to make an impact this season. Like, this season, like, y'all are all going to remember me. I don't know. And I feel like I kind of got there, but, like, I feel like I could have done more if I would have had the rest of this season to, like, prove myself, you know?
I was really just looking forward to the last game, like that was going to be it for me, Like I was really looking forward to playing one last game with my sisters, all of us on the field. And then, whether we won or lost, I was just really looking forward to that. Just that last time, just that last final memory of it.
Yeah. And
I think
oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I think something that's kind of hard for us, or at least me, to like think about is that we didn't know our last game was our last game, and then seeing how we ended our last game
Yes.
was kind of disappointing. Like we ended on a loss, and it felt like we weren't really like our last game was kind of tough on us. Like we were all just having an off day, so it felt like we didn't give our all at our last game, and it sucks knowing that we ended that way.
Yeah.
And also, it could have been easier, knowing that it was the last game, because if we were to say this didn't happen and we could have gone to the end of the season, my brain would have been like, this is the last game, like it would have been in my head, and like letting go would have been easier. But now that it was kind of just like ripped underneath our feet, it kind of doesn't feel real in a sense. Oh, this is gonna be over, and we're gonna go back to playing like this never happened. But it's kind of sort of wrapping my mind around the fact that was my last Bridge game as a Panther, at least official game. I don't know where this is going to go, but is a little odd that I have all this Bridge stuff in my room, and like I have all my sticks everywhere, like ready to go, but like they're just going to sit there.
I think that this is such a great lesson though, that like we really do need to play every game like it's our last game. There was no reason that we shouldn't have given it our all in our last game. Like we all regret that we didn't, but this is just such a good wake-up call that any game could have been our last, and we really should have played it. Like we shouldn't have saved that energy for what we thought was going to be our last game.
I definitely think it's going to be a good motivator for the girls who are on the team next year who had to go through this. They're going to be like, we're not going to let us go down like that again.
I've been pretty impressed with how everyone's, especially the seniors, have handled this. And, and this is across the board between the Eagles and Panthers, both of varsity teams, and then also some of the seniors that we know in college, and just seeing the social media post about how certain seniors and classes are kind of dealing with it. You guys are definitely got a pretty tough end of this whole scenario. From senior night, let's kind of work our way backwards then. Allison and Kristen have been with the program since they could. Maya and Dom, you all came in a little bit later. It's funny though, because when I think about that, there's really not a distinction between any of you all and how you guys invested into Bridge. But let's start with Allison and Kristen about that, like that history that you have with Bridge over the last 6-7 years.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Can I start it with like a good memory that I've had?
Sure.
Okay, so one of my favorite things that ever happened was when we were at the airport and like 6 people got stuck in the revolving door.
Oh, I do remember that.
And I didn't go in yet, but I remember it was like 6 people got stuck in the revolving door, and we had to like call security to get them out.
People were so mad at me because I was behind you all, and everyone else trying to get out to the baggage claim were just staring at me like it was somehow my fault that there were 10 kids trapped in one of the exit doors.
We were it was so funny. Like, I just remember it was my 7th grade year senior bounce. It was my mom when I finally got to the other side. Well, my mom was like, go to the other door. Like she was telling me, and I was trying to laugh at them, and my mom was like, no, go to the other door. So I go to the other door. My mom goes, what happened? And I was like, they got stuck in the revolving door. It was so great. It was such a good way to end that trip. Like that trip was amazing in general, but seeing them stuck in there was just the cherry on top. This is oddly enough, one of my favorite things happened to me since I've been here.
I remember that.
That was so funny.
Kristen, what's changed for you over the last 7 years since you first started with Bridge as a middle schooler to now?
I mean, I definitely like to think my skill got a little better.
For sure.
I don't know. I feel like with me, not a lot has changed. Especially, I don't know, with me and Bridge, my connection was just like the organization in general hasn't changed. Well, maybe from the very beginning, because in 6th grade, I was like, oh my God, what is this? I don't know I don't know how to hold this. I don't know what she wants me to do with this. I don't know why my mom sent me here. I just want to go home. They're making me run a lot. I'm out of breath the whole time. When I first started, I didn't like it at all. I remember that first week of practices for me was like the hardest thing ever. But I like remember. I actually, I don't remember that well. But one of the upperclassmen came and like kept practicing with me like every day that week. And I was like, well, she's really nice and she keeps helping me and she's really good. And I was like, I guess I'll keep coming because I don't know. I kind of want to be her friend. So I kept coming and I don't know. It was definitely the people that kept me coming and not the sport per se, because I was really bad at it at first. It was definitely like the team and the coaches that kept me coming. Their support, they were nice. They made me feel welcome.
That's what happened with me and Izzy. That first week of practice, Izzy practiced with me every day. And I was like, oh, this is great. I have a friend, right? Because I didn't have any friends. So going to like Cobb and like playing with people, Izzy definitely kept me there. Izzy and Madison, because them two would like play with me, and I was like, oh, I have friends, and they're like in 7th grade. 7th graders, whoa, I'm like balling right now. I thought 7th graders were so cool in 6th grade. So yeah, it was definitely the people that.
For those who are listening, Dominique has like all kinds of lacrosse equipment in the background. I see a goalie stick, a helmet. I see all kinds of stuff. So Dom, your experience with Bridge was a little bit different because your sister started playing with us and then you joined a year later. Before you joined us with us officially, like what were the things that you knew or saw with Bridge through your sister?
From the one game I remember, I think she got a concussion that game. And
Awesome.
I think when mom got like a yellow card, or she almost did, I just knew that I was so scared when she told me that I was going to start playing, because I was like, I do not like balls at all. I don't know how to hold the stick. I fought her tooth and nail to keep me from coming to like fall ball. I was like, I'm not playing a sport. I need to focus on my studies. I just didn't want to play. But yeah, I just didn't want to play. But now I'm really happy that my mom forced me to play, and that lacrosse has brought me closer to a lot of people, and especially to my family. I love that lacrosse is a mandatory sport in my house, and that my dad has dedicated a whole section behind me to just our lacrosse gear. So.
And your family is one of the few families where everyone has played, because your parents joined our summer league and got in a few games with our summer league when we had some of the parents playing. So your 3 sisters and Ken and your little brother, they're all players of Bridge.
Yeah. I'm really happy that we got our cousins involved. I'm trying to get some of my friends' families involved too. I'm like, y'all just come out, come watch us, come join us. It's really fun. Yeah, I'm a big supporter and advertiser for Bridge, 100%.
That's awesome. Maya, I know you and I have talked a lot about this. So you came in your sophomore year, which is kind of a tougher time because by then a lot of the teammates are pretty close. But yours was a pretty seamless transition, though. I don't really recall a sort of awkward transition. I feel like you jumped right in and fit in really well and made the effort.
Yeah, it felt really easy. It felt right. I had Kristen, who kind of introduced me to it. Kristen and Allison, they would just always talk about it. We all had biology together. And I just remember every time they had a game, they would come in the next day and they would just be talking about it so happy and so excited. And they were like, you should try it. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess. And so I eventually did, and it was just so much fun. And they helped me ease into it and introduce me to people. And the fact that so many people from Rangel are on the team helped a lot too, because I'm pretty outgoing at school. So I knew a lot of the people there. So it felt right. It felt easy.
So we have senior night. We have the end of the season. Graduation for you all is still kind of up in the air, right?
Yeah. They haven't really
they haven't told us anything. I don't know what's happening with graduation.
Is that an event just in general that you all are really looking forward to? I think it's a big deal,
Yes.
but just
Yes. Well, I
yes.
feel like for the people at Rangel, signing day is a bigger deal. Like
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
what's killing me. Like graduation, like Okay, but like signing day is what's really sad.
Because it's kind of like when the whole school comes together and like celebrates you, and it's, to me, I feel like seeing as a sixth grader through like I guess junior year, seeing that everyone goes somewhere, it kind of gave me the motivation that I'm gonna go somewhere. It may not be where I want to go, but I'm gonna go somewhere. And like being able to cheer on my friends and stuff there kind of also helps give closure that they're leaving. And I don't think that, not only from our perspective that we're not like getting the closure we need, but our friends that are under us, they're not getting that closure that we're leaving either. I don't think it's fair to anyone. It was hard to lose Izzy. Like going to school without Izzy was hard. Or lacrosse, because I did everything with her, right? But kind of seeing that she's going somewhere that's meaningful kind of was like, oh, it's fine, right? Like she's doing something great for her. But like my friends don't get to see that, and I feel bad for them, because and then the sixth graders, like they're not gonna kind of see their first glimpse of going to college, because that's kind of what kicks off the whole college thought, is that, oh, these seniors are going to college. I have to follow in their footsteps soon enough, you know?
You all think that they'll just push it back to sometime in the summer, or you think they'll cancel altogether?
It's weird. They were saying that they were going to try to do something for us, like senior signing day is still on. And I talked to my mom about it, and she was thinking maybe it was going to be, they'll take like 5 of us at a time in like little groups and do it. I don't know, because they didn't say it was canceled. They said it was still on, but I don't know what that means.
Because it's normally the end of May, right?
Yeah.
It's May 1st, isn't it? That's May 1st is signing day.
May, okay.
No, well, May 1st is like the actual, you have to commit to a school. Oh. But our signing day at school was going to be May 19th.
So maybe it's because maybe they're still thinking there's a window of time you can get it in then.
Yeah, I feel like at the very least it'll be a Zoom call with all of us.
How big is the senior class at Irma?
57.
57.
And then Dom, how big's your senior class?
We have like 88 students.
Okay, so you got, those are smaller classes rather. What's next? What's the plan for fall?
Who wants to go first?
I can go, I guess. I kind of have a plan. Well, fall, I'm going to be in Ames, Iowa. I will be moving in on my birthday, because my birthday's moving day. Happy 18th birthday to me, I guess. My mom is coming with me, so I'm going to spend my birthday with my mom because she's going to get me a tattoo for my birthday. Since I'm not going to get it by myself. You've seen my mom, you've seen her tattoos. I should not be going to where I want to go. I should go where she wants me to go. I'm thinking about I want to join a lot of clubs, because they've like Iowa's gave me a lot of options. So like they invited me to join their American Meteorology Society. I can't even say my own major. Their American Meteorology Society chapter. So I guess I'll join that.
Anyone else?
In the fall, I plan on moving to College Station and attending Texas A&M, which I'm really, really excited about. I went to go visit with my mom one time and then with Kristen another time, and it felt right. Like it felt like that's where I needed to be. So I'm really excited. It already feels like home. So I'm really excited to go down there. And like Allison said, I want to join a lot of clubs. I definitely plan on joining the club lacrosse team there and just trying anything and everything I can. I'm just really excited to have a new opportunity.
What do you want to study?
Right now, my major is political science. I think I want to go into law one day, so.
Very cool. Dom, how about you?
I've applied to a lot of places, but right now it's mostly about where I can afford to go. So y'all will still be seeing me. I'll still be coming to practices because I'm not leaving Dallas anytime soon. So I'll be going to a school somewhere in Dallas probably.
Very cool. You can help coach the K2s.
I got you.
I'm really excited to be in Texas still so that I can come back and still be like a really active member of Bridge.
That's the one downside of going to Iowa. That was one of the only things besides my mom that almost kept me in state. Is that I can't come do Bridge things during the school year. I'll be all the way over there. But I'll be here during summer. You'll see me. You will see me during the summer. I'll be here.
Well, it's nice of you to take that into consideration when you're thinking about schools, how much you can still hang out with Bridge.
Because I love Bridge. I love Bridge so much.
That means a lot.
For me, well, first of all, I'm not sure what I want to be. So everywhere that I've applied undecided. So still figuring out what I'm going to major in. But school-wise, I definitely have my top 3. And they're all totally different, which makes my decision way harder. I have Worcester in Ohio. I have UNT in Denton, and then JWU in Denver. And they're all totally different schools with like totally different vibes. So right now I'm kind of weighing like the finances and like pros and cons of going to each one. But I feel like I'm kind of ready to cut it down to 2. I don't know yet.
It's okay. When do you have to make that decision?
Normally it would be May 1st. Have extended the deadline to June 1st. So if I choose one of those, I have a little more time.
That process for you all in narrowing down your school, what's that been like overall?
I feel like once I finished applying to all of them, I thought I could go to any of these schools and I'd be okay. But as the deadline got closer to when they were gonna accept me or not, got closer, I was like, okay, I kind of know where I want to go. I found myself leaning towards certain schools. So once I got all of my acceptances, I knew it was like, okay, well, I can cut these out, or this school didn't give me any money, so we're definitely not going there. I don't know, I kind of based it off of what the school offered and what mattered to me the most.
I had the awesome opportunity of getting to visit most of the schools that I applied to and some of the ones that I didn't end up applying to. And so I just really went on what felt like home, where I could really see myself. And one of my factors, which was really weird and probably not a great thing to do, was whether or not I felt like I would get lost on campus. And so if I went to a campus and I felt like this is really big and all the buildings look exactly the same and I have no idea where I am, then I didn't want to go there. And so I ruled it out. But then if I did feel like, okay, I can navigate this, then I went based on do I feel like I could ask people for directions if I did get lost? Do these people seem friendly?
A&M's a pretty big campus too.
It is, which is why it was weird that I didn't feel like I would get lost there. But
we called Sydney 3 times trying to find her dorm.
Yeah. But the thing is, I felt like I could ask people for directions and I could get there. Everyone was kind enough and I felt approachable. And that's what I really wanted. I wanted to feel like I was comfortable enough to do it.
See, that
was one of mine.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I got lucky and I had a dream. Iowa State was my dream school. So when I applied and got in, the only other school I applied to was TWU for the kicks, just because my mom wanted me to apply somewhere else. And Iowa State gives good money. So I just got lucky in having that I got accepted into my dream school, and my dream school gives money. So I didn't really have a big decision to make, because I went to TWU and I liked it, but I know I like Iowa better because TWU doesn't have anything I want to major in. It was just kind of here, and I've been there before. I like the campus, but there's nothing to offer me there. I did get accepted in TWU, but they didn't give as much money. So my narrowing down wasn't that hard. It was kind of oh, my dream school. Oh, I got in. Oh, they're giving me money. Oh, this is a lot easier than I thought. So I was ready in November.
Dom, are there certain variables or factors that are kind of on your list?
Yeah, for right now, it's just mostly the financial aid aspect, and then also the question of that me and my mom have been debating on if I'm going to move out, if I'm going to go, because I did apply to Navarro, And she's like, if you get
Are you
accepted,
gonna be the cheer people? I'm so sorry.
I knew someone was gonna ask that.
Oh my
So
God,
my mom was
please,
like, are you
Dom.
going to do that? And I was like,
Please
I
send
do not
pictures,
have the
Dom.
skills for that.
Send pictures.
If you go, please tell the whole cheer team how much I adore them.
I will 100% do that.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry,
If
Dom.
I
I
could
just
do
needed
that, I
to
would
say
do
that.
But okay, I'm sorry. It was mostly just the fact of, am I ready to like be out on my own, because I've never, in my whole 18 years and the times of my sisters being with me, I've never been separated from them longer than a day. And so it's like, do I really want to leave them? And do I want to leave my dad and my brother? And like, do I really want to leave my family behind so I can go out and do what I got to do? Or do I want to just stay here and do what I got to do? So yeah, it's just mostly like, can I afford to leave? And am I ready to leave?
We talk a lot about I think I even mentioned it in senior night, like there's these transitions that you all hit, and you are hitting one that's a pretty significant one for sure. My hope is that in the time you guys have been with Bridge, maybe that's a little easier transition. Obviously, making that jump to college is pretty daunting for everyone. Are there things from Bridge that have maybe helped in processing this transition or that jump?
For me, I think something that helped was going on the trips with Bridge, like being away from my mom. And for the first few times I didn't go with my sisters, I was away from everyone basically, except people like that I kind of knew from Bridge. So I don't know, that helped, like getting to be on my own. And I was like, okay, I kind of like this. And then something that really got me excited about college was when we took the Bridge trip to Boston, and then we stayed a little longer after bounds to visit the schools. The schools we visited, I definitely knew I was not going to apply to like MIT or Harvard. I was like, I'm not going to apply here, but I don't know. It was interesting, like, and I felt like more comfortable knowing I was like, okay, like I could live by myself. Like I could ride the train every day to school, or I could do this. And it got me excited.
Well, I joined Bridge after there were no more trips. Yeah, have never gotten to go anywhere with Bridge, but I think that being able to come into this family that had already been formed my sophomore year, and like just learning to be okay with that discomfort and put myself out there anyway, that really helped me feel like I think I can handle college. You know, like I've done it before. I've put myself out there. I've done the hard work before, and it paid off, and I created this amazing family for myself. And so I feel confident that I could do it again. Like that aspect of being alone for the first time isn't as daunting as I think it would have been.
I think oddly enough, one thing that helped is that like I drove myself to practice this year, and like kind of that thought that I can drive myself places. I can make a schedule. I had a schedule of go from school to home and home to practice, and then practice to home. I can do that by myself. It's a small schedule, but knowing that I can do that on a small scale, so I can do it on a bigger scale later. And also to piggyback off of the trips, when I went to Strive, it was only me and Kathy by ourselves, right? And Kathy had never been in an airport before, so it was definitely an interesting thing going to the airport. And I've been to an airport a lot of times, so I think that trip helped both me and my mom kind of realize that I can go places on my own. When I went to bounce, I would go with like coaches or like in a big group of people. But when it was just me and Kathy, like we had to get ourselves through it on our own, and we had to sit at the airport, and we had to find the bus that all the players were on, and like we had to do everything on our own, and like find the gate and check our luggage and all of that. And I think it showed both me and my mom that I can like do stuff on my own without her help.
So you guys are making this transition to alumni. And one of the things that's been really interesting with Bridge over the past couple of years is we've started to get more and more alumni back into the organization. Your two coaches, Coach Maddie and Coach Kat, are former Bridge players. I came into Bridge out of college about the time Maddie was graduating high school. I coached Kat. There's been enough history with Bridge where alumni are now coming back and being a part of the organization. Are there alumni, or are there things that you guys want to do as alum coming back?
I'm so excited for the alumni game. I'm so excited.
Yes.
I think that's one thing that I've been like waiting for now, that I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna get to play with all these people I haven't played with in so long. I'm excited for the alumni game.
Who won this last year's game?
The alumni did.
Yeah,
Did they?
the
Okay.
alum.
Couldn't remember. It like goes back and
Yeah.
forth. It's one of the few times where it actually
Yeah.
changes, where the players or like they'll alternate. On the guys' side, it's always the alumni.
Oh, really?
It's not even close. I mean,
Dang.
it's pretty lopsided. The players will get they'll get it in a little bit, but right now the alumni are pretty strong.
One thing that I'm excited about of just being an adult, I guess, in relation to Bridge, and it's something that Kristen and I have talked about, is just something that's a really big motivator, is that to go to school and to get a good job and like to do all those things is to be able to come back and like donate to Bridge. And just like, I want to see it grow and I want to be a part of that growth, you know?
Maya and I have talked about this a lot. Like we had dreams where we bought Bridge a field.
Yes.
Yeah, David and I have
amazing.
talked about that. Remember how we talked about that indoor turf field?
I sketch out a lot of different drawings of like a Bridge campus. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like a big motivator to just do well in life and to be legitimately study during school and take things seriously and get internships and like get a good job, is so that I could come back and be like, here's a ton of money. make it better for the next generation.
That means a lot. There's the alumni that have come back, and someone like Coach Maddie, who is a great coach who could go coach at any program out there. And we have a lot of people who come to Bridge as alum who, you know, I could do this or I could go here, but I want to be a part of the organization that got my career started, that made me feel like a part of something really big, and I want to be a part of that. We have really great alumni. We have really great coaches, volunteers who support us, and even the alumni who are maybe, you know, out of the state or they've moved elsewhere, they do a really good job of keeping tabs on us and sending us, you know, they'll send us text messages and notes, or they'll share things on social media. So I'm really proud of our alumni base, and adding 10 more alum to that base is such a positive thing. I'm looking forward to that day where Maya and Kristen, Dom and Allison, you guys can present a giant check or cut the ribbon on a brand new facility.
Oh my gosh, I can see it now. Wait, guys, wait. Serious question. Would we have blue turf?
Yes.
I actually like the blue turf.
I love the blue turf.
I love the blue turf.
That's up for debate.
No,
I think
not.
David,
It's not up for debate.
To decide.
We have
That's
to
fair.
pay for it.
That's fair. If you
so-
pay, that's fair. If you pay for a blue turf, I will gladly accept a blue turf.
I love the blue turf. Like,
Yeah, I do too.
I love playing on it.
I kind of like it, yeah.
I had a dream last night that I wanted to start my own like Bridge chapter in college, and that like I had to like call you and get permission to like use the name and like be like, is this okay if I do this in College Station? And you said yes. Like I did.
Of course,
it.
I'd say yes.
And it was like really cool, and like I started like a chapter.
When you get down to College Station, if you have a school or there's a rec center that needs equipment, let me know.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you all have maybe a favorite memory or just like a moment of Bridge that really stands out to you? Something maybe you've learned, or just like a really fun something that happened? I see Dom nodding.
Yeah, my favorite memory with Bridge would have to be I climbed that thing at spring training or whatever, that really tall thing. I thought I was gonna die.
The tower, yeah.
Everyone like on the team was like, "Hey, you got this! Don't give up, Coach Maddie." I kept hearing her. She was like, "Keep going, keep going, keep going. You got this. You got it. You're almost there." And I was just like, "Yeah, I got to do it." And then I think it was Kristen who said, "All the seniors have to go first." And I was like, "No." But that's my favorite memory that I have.
You did a great job.
I was so scared, and then I had to do 10 push-ups up there, and I was the first one up there, and I was like, oof, that was really scary, but that definitely helped me take a step to overcome my fear of heights.
That tradition, by the way, those 10 push-ups at the top, that was a tradition when Metro Lacrosse was around before they merged. When we did this summer bounce trip, they have an Alpine Tower very similar, and so that was a tradition we took from them into the Alpine Tower here in Texas.
Oh my goodness.
It's also really hard to do 10 push-ups when you literally just climbed a 30-foot tower with your arms.
Yeah, it was also hard to climb because the boys went before us and
Yeah,
all
had
of the
mud all over it.
crevices were muddy.
I
Yeah.
thought I was gonna slip and fall to my
Yeah.
death.
I think my favorite memory would probably be the trip to Oklahoma that we did. That drive back, or just like the games were obviously super fun. And then we went to dinner and we just all talked and laughed and just had an amazing time and ate way too much food. And then the drive back, I thought we were all just gonna knock out, but we didn't. We played such loud music and we danced in the back and just had a great time until we got back to Dallas. And that was probably my favorite, was just bonding with everyone at the very beginning of the season and just having that memory together. And it was really fun.
I feel like I just have too many memories to pick like an ultimate favorite one. But I will say like my most recent like favorite memory would probably be when we showed up to practice. I think it was the week before spring break, or maybe it was the week before that. I don't know. It was right before spring break. And we joined with the little kids for practice on Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
That was so fun for me. Like, I loved that so much. Like, getting to hang out with the little kids, like, getting to see how they hold their stick and get their ground balls. And then once we, like, separated into, like, the girls and the boys, I don't know. I kind of felt like I was you, David, like, directing everyone, like, y'all work on this. Y'all work on this. And then I was, like, walk around, see how everyone's doing. Like, I don't know. I just had a really good time, like, getting to hang out with everyone. Like, just being around everyone felt really good.
They were also really impressive. Their stick skills, I was shocked. Like, do you need my help or should I be asking you for advice?
I was helping. I remember one girl specifically. Her name was Chloe, and I was helping her get this ground ball. And she was like, "No, I got it." And I was like, "Oh!" Like I backed up, and she got it on the first try. And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go help someone else because she clearly does not need me."
Okay, I guess I'll go. Okay, so one of my favorite memories, I guess, really again recently, because I have so many. I guess there's two separate ones, but the same event is when we go to like the walk to and from and at the campfire when we go to camp. I feel like every time that we do that walk in the dark, something funny happens. Like, I remember the first year, I just kept getting scared by the same person would go hide in the woods and scare me when I would walk by because I'm scared of the dark. So that walk is usually not fun. But and like going to the campfire, I got to know, like, I feel like I get to know people better when we were at the campfire, I guess. And then like, I remember this year, they were all in that little like thing in the lake. And then like, there was a lot of commotion. I thought someone fell in the water. Turns out it was just a Coke bottle. And then they do that thing where they run down the stairs and like jump in the group of people. There's just so much going on all the time at the campfire. And it's just so fun to be there. The energy, I feel like at the campfire, my favorite energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not a favorite memory, I guess, but it's like an energy that I vibe with. And like that whole camp in general is so awesome.
I know what you mean. Like at the campfire, I don't know, like I like to sit there and just look around and be nosy, see who's talking to who. Like, oh, I wonder if they're dating now. Like, I like to just imagine what other people within Bridge are like thinking or doing in that moment. I just look around like, interesting. I didn't know they talked.
Yeah, like seeing who's friends with who, and like just watching people interact. I guess people watching in a sense, but people watching people I know. And like I see things, I'm like, I didn't know you talked to them, or like I didn't know you liked that, you know? Like it's just a fun little thing to do. It's not like big and flashy, but it's definitely one of my favorite things.
Totally agree. I'm big on just watching the way you guys interact. I love the energy. I love the vibe. A lot of you guys give me grief because I'm always, wait, are they dating? Are they dating or whatever? And it's not out of like trying to be nosy, but one of the things I think is always really cool with Bridge is that you guys are getting value out of the experience. That's not just playing lacrosse and being on a team, that you're meeting new people, and whether it's, you know, high school dating or just being really good friends, Bridge is this really great outlet or really great conduit for these relationships. And so that's why I always ask, because most of you all don't go to the same school. There's, you know, of the 200 kids in Bridge in the spring, there's probably 80, 90 schools represented. And so there's not a lot of opportunities outside of Bridge where maybe you guys would cross paths with other people. And so it's cool, like at camp where you're interacting with someone who goes to school on their side of town or in a different county or whatever. And so I like that, like you said, Allison, that energy or that vibe is just a lot of fun to watch because it means you guys are getting more out of Bridge than just being on a lacrosse team. This will be what we end on, okay? So the prompt is, or my question is, what are some like words of wisdom you want to leave to those listening to this coming up behind you?
I guess what I could say is, in light of this whole pandemic, like don't take things for granted, not even just in lacrosse, but for everything. Like this is a life lesson that you need to know all the time. It's really important to not take things for granted and to appreciate everything that you have because you never know when you won't have it anymore, whether it be lacrosse or like time with your friends. Every little thing means a lot more to you than you think, and to appreciate the people around you because you also don't realize how much they affect you in a positive or negative way, but mostly positive in this case. How much the people around you affect you in a good way until you kind of lose them in your life. And then you're kind of like, oh, I miss those people, whether it be in a big or small way. So definitely appreciate things in life more. Yeah. Don't take things for granted.
Okay, I think I have mine.
Okay.
Okay, I think my like words of wisdom, I guess, or just the last thing I kind of want to say to my team and to anyone listening, I guess, is just that like you matter a lot more than you think you do because the team can only work if everyone is a part of it and everyone is giving their all. And I think that sometimes we kind of downplay our role. And I just want to say that you matter, your role matters, your input matters, and just, you know, sometimes just showing up is enough. And I hope that that's like the one thing that everyone can get from whatever I have to say. It's just that sometimes just being there is enough, and that you don't have to put all this pressure on yourself to be the best one out there, to make the most goals, because the fact that you showed up means so much more and goes so much further than I think you realize.
I think I'm going to steal your words here, David. I think the thing that I've learned most, and I think everyone should remember, is to do things with intent. I feel like sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the moment and think, well, we're losing, or oh, I missed that, it's my fault. Like it's easy to like to think about everything you're doing wrong, but if you just keep playing with intent, like it's easier to feel good about what you did, even if it wasn't what you wanted. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like play with intent is something that's stuck with me the most out of all your catchphrases. I don't know. I think that's something that I'll always remember.
All right, Dom, you're it.
This is pretty hard to think about, but I guess my last words of wisdom, I guess, would be like, don't let your past affect your future. What happened in the past is in the past for a reason, and you can do your best and to put yourself in a better position so your future doesn't resemble what happened in the past, if that makes any sense.
Okay, that's it. Thank you all so much for doing this. I know you guys were excited to jump on, but it does mean a lot, again, of just showing up and doing this. I don't have a ton of idea where this is going to go or like the direction of this podcast. I'm not even entirely sure why we decided that this was a good idea to do, but it means a lot that you all were here. Thank you all so much. This is pretty fun.
Yeah, I had a good time.
This was cool. Thank you all for listening. Maya, Dominic, Allison, Kristen, thank you all for hanging out.